Welcome, church family. We're going to try this streaming again, see if we can get it to actually stream today. Thank you for showing up. We're going to talk about lifelong strategies for weight maintenance. And we're going to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes today. And then for the next next 6 weeks, we're going to continue this. So we're going to run through this. Kathy, if you can go ahead and click it over to the obesity trends. We're going to quickly look at what happened with obesity. So this is 1985, and everything is less than 15% obese in the country. Here's 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. 91, it jumps to 15 to 19%. 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. 97, it jumps to 20%. 98, 99, 2000, 2001, it jumps to 25%, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, it jumps to 30%, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, this is the same map. They just changed the colors. This is still right here, 30 to 35%. And 2012, 2013, then Mississippi and West Virginia jumped to 35%. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there we have, we can flip it back to the regular slides now, that you shouldn't feel alone because look how many people are going through this. It's not just one individual problem. So we're going to look at this increase in weight, and it's not just our country. So when we look at these slides, here's Afghanistan at about 5%. But you know what's going on there. They've been having war for years. But then here's Italy at 20%. 20% obesity in Italy. Isn't that amazing? They have one of the best cuisines out there, and still only 20%. And this is Germany, Greece, Ireland, Hungary, Canada, Saudi Arabia, United States. There we are at 35%, like we just saw. But here is American Samoa, a South Pacific island. And this is Nauru, another South Pacific island that are 50 and 60% obese. 50 to 60% obesity. Is anybody not overweight in the entire country? So we'll look at that as we go along. Now, the question is, why has this been happening? What do you think it is? Comments, what do you think? Any ideas, people? Yes. Yes, weight. Fast food, that's another one. Yeah, bigger portions. Okay, that's kind of how it is, but here's kind of what you said, lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle. We just don't move as much as we used to. Stress and pressure. You know, are we more stressed today than we were back in 1970? You know, I remember the Cuban Missile Crisis in the 60s where they said, our president said, if you go one more foot, we're going to blow you out of the water. And I think, oh no, the World War III. So, you know, it is stressful. We do it because of stress. But my question is, remember, what has happened in the last 40 years? So what's happened in the last 40 years? Advertising, it was good, it still is. Genetics, have your genes changed? No, our genes are the same as they were. And then here's deep emotional needs, Dr. Phil. It's your mother's fault. Well, no. And then haven't found the right diet yet. These are reasons that people have given me for the obesity problem that we have. But I want to show you what I think the main problem is. My premise we're going to go through with this class is we lose track of how much we eat, and we tend to overeat. And there's a couple of reasons that happens, I believe. See if you agree with me. Here's the answer, spray you thin. It really works. You can lose weight, control your appetite, and freshen your breath at the same time. And how do you know that it works? It says so right here. It works. The amazing thing is that that's actually for sale. I know some of the people ask me, do I sell it? And I don't have any of them. So there's none for sale. In the first class, we're going to talk about just 3 things. And there's many things over the next 6 weeks that we're going to hit. But in this one, we're going to talk about portion size, self-monitoring, and visibility and convenience. If we just get started with those 3 things, and we'll do this for a week, and we'll come back together next week, and then we'll talk about the success of these 3 before we get on to the rest of the class. Number 1 then is portion size. Have you noticed that portions are bigger? I mean, really bigger. They're huge. They bring out your plate and you go, oh my goodness, that's enough for 3 people, and then we eat it. So portions are bigger. This just shows Hershey bar, and in 2008, Hershey bar was about 0.6 ounces, and then it went to 1, 2, 4, 7, 8 ounces. Now we have Hershey bars that are 8 ounces. And I bought one once. I thought, you know what? This is a good deal. I'm going to buy this candy bar, and it's going to last me for a month. So I brought it home, sat down in front of the TV, and I broke off one corner. And I thought, that's a pretty good corner. I'm just going to have one more bite. And before the movie was over, I had eaten 1/2 of a pound of chocolate. 1/2 of a pound of chocolate. Same thing with hamburgers, soda, beer. Everything is going up. So remember cookies, 20 years ago, they were about 55 calories, and now cookies are about 270 calories. And then there's the cheesecake, 260 calories, and now cheesecake is 640 calories. And that's just a little bit. I mean, you can get cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory that's bigger than that. But imagine that, 640 calories, you can actually get a cheesecake that's twice that much at like the Cheesecake Factory. So portions have gotten bigger. And then here is a muffin a few years ago, 200 calories. The muffin today, 500 calories. Here's the bagel, 140 calories, and today 350. Do you remember those little bagels when you just had a bagel? And now they're like this big, and they're 350 calories. 350 calories. Now, think about a piece of bread. People come to me and go, what'd you have for breakfast? I just had a bagel. Well, God bless you, little Johnny. You had a bagel. That's very good. Good for you. But how many calories is in that bagel? How many calories is in a slice of bread? It depends, but it's 70 to 90. Let's say it's 70. And so at 70 calories, how many slices of bread is this 350 calorie bagel? All you mathematicians, someone? Yes. 5 sevens is 35. And so that would be 5 slices of toast. If someone said to you, I had a bagel, you think, good for you, just one bagel? Yes. But if somebody says, what'd you have? And you say, well, I had 5 slices of toast this morning for breakfast. We would say, that's a bit of a piggy, isn't it? 5 slices of toast? So the problem is we get fooled by portion. And many of my students over the years have said, I just have a bagel for breakfast. Okay, but what do we put on it? And they'll say, it's fat-free. Yeah, but what do we put on it? So we end up putting cream cheese on this little bagel, and instead of 350 calories, it turns out to be 600 calories. Because we don't take a little thin piece of cream cheese on there. We take a big scoop and go lump. Not enough. Lump, lump, lump. And we end up putting this mound of cream cheese that changes it from 350 to 500 or 600 calories. So remember the first point here. My point is that we're getting fooled with portion, and we eat more, and we just don't know it. So these are the things that we talked about that people say are gaining weight, but I actually think it's this one. We lose track of how much we eat. I flipped backwards somehow. Let me get backwards here. Okay, here's the burger. The burger a few years ago was 330 calories, and here's the burger today. It's 590 calories. The Monster Burger is 1,420 calories. The Monster Burger. I ate a Monster Burger once. I was traveling. I was far from home. Nobody knew me. And I ordered a Monster Burger, and I ate the whole thing. 1,420 calories. Man, it was pretty good. I only did it once. But when I ask people about this, and I say, do you think people, when they get this big a burger, will say, can I have the small fry with that? Probably not. And so what we have is, today, 600 calories, French fries. French fries and the burger turns out to be 2,000 calories. 2,000 calories. And if you have the biggest milkshake with that, how many calories in the largest milkshake? Yeah, that's a little low. 1,000 calories. 1,000. And so 1,000 calories plus 2,000, that's 3,000 calories. So what we got with this meal was 3,000 calories. And we know that's a big meal. So the problem with food is that it always digests. And so you have it at lunch, 6 hours later, you're hungry. And you think, man, I had a big sandwich and fries. I better not have dessert tonight. And what you need to do is skip dinner, skip breakfast, don't eat the next day until noon to make up for the 3,000 calories you got in this meal. Uh-oh. Hopefully this doesn't keep happening. We'll see. So here's the burger we were just talking about. Uh-oh. I think there's the mouse is up in the corner and it keeps flickering around. Yeah. Okay, so I think that there was a click there. This is the Riley burger. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half-pound burgers. 7 half-pound burgers. It's at the Eagle's Nest Deli in Boston. And so I was in Boston, and if you eat this burger and you eat 2 pounds of fries with it, it's free. So there's a Riley Burger Challenge. If you go online and you type in Riley Burger Challenge, there's a little clip about this. And so I said, I'm Dr. Painter, and I'm here to take the Riley Burger Challenge, but the challenge is not to eat the whole stupid thing, but to get the right portion. So to help me out, and then we panned back with the camera, and we had 16 dietetic students around the table. So we split this one burger into 16 portions and split the 2 pounds of fries among 16 people, and every person ended up with a 300-calorie portion. So the moral of the story is, if you go to a pig-out restaurant, make sure that you have enough friends to get the right portion. All right. And this, I put it just for the fun of it, this is a 100 quarter pounder with cheese. So there is the gulp. It's 20 ounces. It's 200 calories. The big gulp is 350. The super gulp is now 450. The double gulp is 600. And now we have the extreme gulp. It's like a gallon of liquid. So we did a little video on this. We did a portion size me test with these 2 students to see if it's possible to eat at a fast food restaurant and get the right number of portions. Shortly after that, then, we ended up at CBS Morning Show, and they asked us to talk about it, and we ran the study with some participants on the morning show. Kathy, can you switch that over and just run the portion size me video from the CBS Morning Show?
We continue our special series this morning with a look at ourselves. To put it quite simply, we are a nation of overeaters. But the good news is there's some simple things that all of us can do about it. And early show consumer correspondent Susan Cookman has details. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Hannah. Believe it or not, you can eat fast food, chocolate, candy, and cookies and still shed pounds. You are about to meet a professor who says it all comes down to something very simple: portion control. Pizza, burgers, fries. We think they're the enemy in the battle of the bulge, but maybe not.
Yes, you can eat all those things and lose weight.
Nutrition expert Jim Painter says it's not so much what you eat, but how much you eat. He proves it in his documentary, Portion Size.
Watch Aaron.
He puts 2 of his students on a 30-day fast food diet.
They both ended up losing a couple of pounds. Their blood cholesterol levels dropped. Their blood lipids stayed normal. Their liver enzymes stayed normal. Everything was fine if they ate the right portion.
And this was eating fast food every day.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they ended up losing weight.
But getting the right portion size is getting harder. Painter showed us how portions have ballooned. This is a Caesar salad from 20 years ago versus today. Double the portion, double the calories.
And same with the pasta and the meatballs.
Same with the pasta and meatballs. Now, if you just say, give me the regular serving, it's going to be almost twice as much.
And just look at a regular burger and fries from the 50s compared to now.
But don't you think people want this? They don't
really
want
do.
that.
They really do. And so one of the problems is that we have this idea that more is better. And if you look at people's waistlines, they are more now, and it's not better.
But is it possible to eat smaller portions and still be satisfied? Painter says yes. And to prove his point, he helped us set up an experiment.
Ice cream.
We invited this group of people to take part in an all-you-can-eat ice cream taste test.
Take as much as you want. If you want to come back for seconds, you can come back for seconds.
We started by splitting them into 2 separate groups. Group A was given a big scoop, big bowls, and big spoons. Group B was given a scoop, bowls, and spoons about half the size. As a result, Group A took huge portions and piled on the toppings. Once we weighed each bowl, they chowed down. Everyone in this group ate quickly. Most even came back for seconds. But watch what happened when we brought in Group B, the ones with the smaller bowls. They filled their dishes, but with smaller spoons.
Remember this
it took them
guy
more time to get to the
that's
bottom,
coming up, and
most
look at
quit
his
after
spoon.
Only one serving.
Does everybody feel like they ate enough ice cream?
Yes.
Then we revealed the truth of our experiment and the results. Even though both groups told us they were completely satisfied, Group A, the one with the bigger bowls and spoons, ate twice as much as Group B.
Are you surprised that you guys ate double what they ate?
Absolutely. And I can definitely see how just the size of the bowls did it.
Why do you think your group?
This is a good answer.
I guess because when you see that your bowl's full and then you eat everything in there, you feel that you had enough and that's all that you need.
Jim Painter says the lesson is simple. Control your weight by controlling your portion size.
What is the appropriate size?
I don't think you need to make a big calculation. And I tell people this, and I'm really serious about this. Reach down and grab your side. If there's more there between your thumb and your index finger than you want, think small and choose small.
Yes, I have that problem.
Don't do that now, Susie. You're pregnant. You're eating for 2.
Painter says that choosing small can be as easy as downsizing all of your plates, bowls, and glasses. So here's a look at the dinner plate that I normally use at home. It's huge. So I'm downsizing to this plate.
Okay. You know what? We actually did that in our house.
And did it work?
Of course it works because
Yeah,
you
it
put the
does.
same amount of food in.
Okay,
Looks like
that's good. You
it's
can
full on the plate.
cut that off.
He has some other.
All right. So today we're going to talk about 3 things. This is the first one, and it's portion size. Now, if you actually know what a portion is, like you go to a burger joint and they have a normal portion and they decide to shrink the portion, you go, wait a minute, I can tell this is smaller. You're cheating me. So if you cut down the portion of food that's actually on a plate, people know it. But if you just change the size of the plate, people don't know it. And so what we're talking about here in this is just changing the size of the plate. So in this first session, the 3 things we're going to take home, one of them is just look at your plates, bowls, glasses, and try as best you can. We'll talk about this next week also. Start eating out of smaller plates, bowls, and glasses. I am telling you that we've done studies with this, and there was a group of professors that came to Brian Wansink, and they said, yeah, you can't fool us. So he did it with them. He had them eat on big plates. He had them eat on little plates. And sure enough, all these professors, when they started eating off the little plates, they ate less. And they said, you can't fool me. Yeah, well, we did. And so they ended up eating less with smaller plates. So we'll talk about some studies about this, but this is one study that we did with ice cream. And all we did was have big bowls, big spoons, and big scoops. And we changed it. And in the first study that we did, They ate probably less than 50%. It cut it down tremendously when we gave them the small plates. Now, remember that guy that I showed you, that big guy? He looks like, and I think he was, the guy from The Blind Side. And we went to an acting studio in New York City, and we got a bunch of students to come over, and he was one of them. Now, you saw the spoon. I went to him after he finished eating, and I said, "You're a big guy. Do you want some more ice cream?" He goes, "No, I'm really fine." I said, "Are you sure? You couldn't hardly hold the spoon." He goes, "No, I'm really fine. I'm fine." And so when the bowls came out, he saw that he had a small bowl. He said, "Dr. Painter, you cheated me. You cheated me." I said, "No, I didn't. I asked you 3 times. He said, "I want more now." Okay, so that last girl that said, when you have the bowl full and you eat the whole thing, you feel like you've had enough. People have asked me this for years and said, what is that? You know, is that kind of a psychological problem? And I have no idea why it works. But when you have this bowl, plate, cup, glass, you finish the whole thing, you feel like you're done. People have said, is it like a hormonal thing? It could be. I just don't know. I mean, it could be that quickly. Your brain sees that it's done, and clicks it in, and all the satiety signals click in. Could be, but I don't know. But what I do know is that it works. So number 1 of our 3 things today is to try and eat out of smaller plates, bowls, and glasses. This is a little ridiculous, but I'd like you to try it anyway. And that is, you know, you go to a novelty shop and you get a little shot glass. It's like bigger than a shot glass. It's like 1 ounce or 2 ounces maybe, or 3 ounces. And if you really like something and it's really high calorie, like a milkshake, you got to drink it out of that little glass. And if you want to have more, if you want to gain weight, because there's people out there that want to gain weight, have bigger portions, bigger plates, bigger glasses, and you'll eat more. You'll just tend to eat more. And so always think smaller on the plate, on the bowl, on the glass. Changing the dining environment, don't change the portion of food, and you'll end up eating less. All right, that's point number 1 of our 3 points today. Second one is self-monitoring. We lose track of how much we eat so easily, and I think that is probably one of the keys. With a big burger, we eat it, but we don't know how much we ate. So I'm going to give you 2 studies here. This is a study with 38 subjects, and they went holiday 3 weeks, and they went non-holiday 7 weeks, and they looked at how much these people were eating, comparing people who wrote down what they ate compared to people who didn't write down what they ate. So here's what we have. This is not how much they ate. It's not fat grams. It's not counting calories. This is quartiles of consumption, consistently monitoring it. So these people didn't write it down very well. These people wrote it down better. And this is the top 25% that wrote it down every single time before they ate it. So you can see the non-holiday week here in the shaded. So you wrote it down poorly and you gained weight. You wrote it down better, you lost weight. You wrote it down really well and you lost a lot of weight. Then you go to the holiday. So here's the holiday in the white. Holiday, you wrote it down, you gained a lot of weight because it's a holiday. You wrote it down better, still better, you still did. But if you wrote everything down on a piece of paper before you ate it, people lost weight even during a holiday. Now remember, we're talking about strategies to help us maintain weight for a lifetime. And so if you just write it down, now what does that do? So I have a little card here, and I would write it down on the card, put it in my pocket. So what this does is, at the end of the day, you're thinking, man, I've had a bad day. People are mean to me. You know, all the people at work are mean to me, and I deserve a treat. I'm going to eat a bag of M&Ms. So you get the bag of M&Ms out, you set it on the counter, you pull the card out and go, wow, I've had M&Ms 4 times today already. Do I need them right now? Can I wait and have them later? Okay, I can wait till later. Put it in my pocket, go sit down in front of the TV again. 15 minutes later, commercial comes on, pop up, go in there. Man, I need to eat. You pull out the M&Ms, pull out the card and go, oh, I forgot. Look at that. I've had M&Ms 4 times today. Do I really want it now or can I wait? I guess I can wait. Look what I've eaten already. And you become a gerbil. You just run back to the fridge. You look at it, you pull it out, put it away, go back, and it goes into a circle. it is incredible how much effect this has on how much you eat if you just write it down. So there's one more study I wanted to show you, and this is during a holiday week, 2 weeks during the holiday, 2 weeks prior and 2 weeks after. This was published in '99 in Health Psychology. And so the dotted line here, the shaded area is before the holiday, the white is the holiday, and this is after the holiday. So they told these dotted line people here, they're the control group, they said, we're going to watch you, what you're doing. And they went, oh no. And so they started losing weight. And then about 2 weeks, they forgot people were watching them. And then the holiday started and they pigged out. And then they kept pigging out until what time? When do you stop eating after a holiday? When your pants don't fit anymore. And you go, I did it again. I've pigged out again. And then you slow down and stop eating, but you've already gained 2 pounds. Now, here's the other group that was writing things down before they ate them. And so here at week 2, they started writing it down. They started losing weight drastically by week 3. And then holiday came and they kept losing weight, but not as much for the next 2 weeks. The holiday ended. They kept losing weight until they stopped writing it down. And then they started leveling out and going back up. But look at the difference just here in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, this group gained 2 pounds. This group lost 2 pounds. That's a 4-pound difference. Suppose we could have that happen every holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, Memorial Day. What happens if every time we have a big holiday, we gain 4 pounds? Well, if we have 5 holidays in a year, 4 or 5, you can gain 20 pounds in a year. That's a lot. And then that's just 1 year, 20 pounds. 10 years, you can gain 200 pounds. And then a few more years, you can gain 800 pounds. And so this is a powerful, powerful tool just to write things down before you eat them. So what we have here, we've got some 3x5 cards that I brought for all of you. And I want you to pick up one of these before you go. And what you're going to do is make this commitment. The first one is you're going to try and start eating out of smaller containers if you want to lose weight. You're going to eat out of bigger containers if you want to gain weight. There are people that want to. My boss at City of Faith Hospital, when I was there in Oral Roberts years ago, was so thin, she said, I just want to weigh 100 pounds. And she couldn't gain weight. So we started something like this, and over a period of time, she was able to start gaining weight by eating out of bigger containers. And then we'll talk about this next one in just a second, but writing things down and looking at that and thinking, man, that's all I ate today? And like the other folks, instead of saying, wow, look how much I ate, I better not eat. Then what she started doing is looking and go, man, I just didn't eat today. And so I didn't eat all day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to eat some more right now. And so she would eat at the end of the day. All right, the last thing we're talking about today is visibility and convenience of food. When you see things, you eat it. Do you remember gas stations 40, 50 years ago? You'd go in and buy gas, and the only thing they had there was cigarettes and oil. And most people didn't eat the cigarettes or the oil, neither one of them. And so what happened is that people couldn't get to food. It wasn't there, and they didn't eat it. So seeing food in front of you, you tend to eat it. And so we did this study, and we'll end with this. We had candy kisses on the desk, in the desk, and inconvenient. So what happened here is we went for 3 weeks in this. We estimated the candy consumption in each condition. We wrote down how much they ate, and they estimated how much they ate. So here's what happens. When it was on the desk right here in front of these secretaries all the time, they ended up eating 9 calories or 9 candies. When we put it in the desk drawer, just right here underneath it, they ate only 6, 30% less calories. When we put it up here in a closet, they had to stand up and they had to go get it, and then they ended up having only 3. So 30% less, 60% less by just having it in a different place. And so this just says that actually what happened was here in the red, and the yellow is what they estimated. And so they estimated they only ate 1, but they had 3. So it shows that people expected this. And so we're going to go through this study, these 2 studies later. So on our to-do list today, what do we have to do? We have 3 commitments. 1, We're going to choose smaller plates, bowls, and glasses to lose weight, bigger to gain weight. We're going to write things down on a card just for a week. We make a commitment for a week. And then we'll look at it next week and decide, do you want to keep doing it or do you want to stop? It's just a 1-week commitment. And then start rearranging your dining environment. Wherever you are, don't have things that are sitting there that are visible, that are convenient. Kathy had 4 little chocolate peanut butter Reese's. And so I asked her, how many does she have now? There's 1. Well, I was sitting back there all day, and I was working on this program, and I ended up eating 3 of those little candies. I didn't want any of them, but they were right there, and I ate them. And so keep food that you don't want to have out of sight and inconvenient. Okay, so that's what we have. The to-do list for this week are these 3 things, and then we'll reconvene next week on Wednesday. We missed it one day this week, but we're going to go ahead and do it next Wednesday at 6:30 Central. All right, thank you.